This is lesson 23 for 5th grade, module 2. What we're looking at today is really a lot more of the same thing we've been up to these days. Dividing and then checking using multiplication. So dividing, repeated subtraction, and checking with repeated addition. So let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead and move this on down, and we're going to do problem C. We're going to skip over A and B. Let's go straight to C. So what we're looking at when we use just the standard algorithm in this case is 6,691, and we're seeing how many 28s we can fit in that. And so we can kind of round this. 28 is really close to 30, and let's do just some repeated, just kind of skip counting. And so we can kind of get some estimates on how far we can get. Here's 30 times 1, 30 times 2, 30 times 3, 3 times 3, 9, plus a 0. 3 times 4 is going to be 12, plus a 0, right? 3 times 5 is going to be 15, plus a 0. So when we take a look up here and we go, oh, okay, so we're going 28 into 66. 66 is bigger than 60, and so 2 of them we can guess are probably going to fit. So let's start there. So if we go 2 of them, 2 times 8, you get 16. Carry. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 gets you a 5. So now when we find the difference, what do you add to 56 to get to 66? You add 10, right? And then you drop down your 9. And now you've got 109. Now we can take a look at this again. We know that 90 and 120, well, we can't go as high as 120 because it's going to be too big. So that's 1 of them, 2 of them, 3 of them. Let's try 3 of them, see how it goes. We know that 3 times 8 is going to get us 24. So this 1 that we had up here, let's convert it into a 2, shall we? 3 times 2 is 6, 7, 8. So we're going from 84 to 109. We're going to find the difference. 9 take away 4, or what do you add to 4 to get to 9? A 5. What do you add to 8 to get to 10? 2. But here's what that would look like. I can't take 8 from nothing, so it's going to borrow from over here, leaving nothing there. And then we put that number here, because we're borrowing in the larger place value. And again, 10 minus 8 does give us 2. So now we got 25. Let's bring down, we had 6691, right? So we've got this 1 we've got to bring down. Now when we look at this again and we think about, how far can we go? And we think about, let's see, 150, and we're at 250. So that's adding almost 100 more, right? So we know that this one, you had 4 of them, or 3 of them to get to 90, right? And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's try 8. Because then we're taking that 150 and we're adding 90 more to it. So 8 times 8 is 64. Oh, what am I doing? I'm making a 6 instead of a 4. Let me erase that because it's too messy. Too messy. We'll fix it up. So we're going to go back to our pencil. There we go. 8 times 8 is 64. Make a 4. And we're carrying a 6. We'll just go on top of our 2. 8 times 2 is 16. Plus 6 more ends in a 2, right? So we had 8 times 2 is 16. And we can count it up. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22. Now we subtract. And we think, 4 take away from 1, I don't have enough to give you. If I only have 1, I can't give you 4. So I'm going to go to my neighbor and I'm going to borrow one of those 5 tens. So we'll put that 10 now next to the 1. Now we've got 11. And I know 4 plus 6 gets me 10, and 1 more gets me 11. So the difference between 11 and 4 happens to be 7. What do I add to 2 to get to 4? 2 more. So 27. Look at that, how close we were. 27 and 28. So that's what's remaining. Remainder of 27. Now when we go through and we do this other process to do some checking, and I'll do it in a different color, we'll do a lighter color for that, we're going to take the multiplication part of it first. And how many sets of 28 fit in there? 238 sets of 28 fit in there. That's where we begin. And we can write it up here, what we're doing. 238 times 28. Now let's work it out and see what we get. 8 times 8 is 64. Carry our 6. 8 times 3 is 24. Plus 6 more is going to get us 30. Carry the 3. 8 times 2 is 16, 17, 18, 19. And now because we're working with 20, we have to have nothing in the ones place in 20. 2 times 8, 16. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. And then 2 times 2 is 4. And now we have to add those together because we're multiplying, repeated addition. So 4 and 0 is still 4. 6 and 0 is still 6. I know that 9 plus 7 is 1 less than 10 plus 7. So it's not going to be 17. It's going to be 16. Carrying a 1. 4, 5, 6. So 6,664 is what we get as a result. 6,664. But we're not done yet because we still have this remainder we got to work with. So let's take that 6,664. We won't lose it. We'll combine it. So we say plus 27. So let's add that down here. Now we're going to say plus 27. I know that 7 plus 3 gets me 10. So 7, 4 must get me 11. 6, 7, 8, 9. 6 plus 3 is 9. And then we bring down that 6 because 6 plus nothing. And again, now we get 6691, and that's exactly what we were shooting for. So that means that we got the correct answer. We just checked it on out. I'm going to do one word problem. We're at 7 minutes, and then we'll be done. A political gathering in South America was attended by 7,910 people. Each of the 14 countries was there. How many representatives attended from each country then? So if we've got to figure out if this is the total right here, and we got to say, oh, well, okay, so how many, if there's 14 parts of this, how many people were in each part of that? So we're going to have 7,910 people, and they are divided into 14 equal groups. So if we think about this and we think, 14, working with a clock, sometimes it's like thinking about 15, like when you go the first 15 minutes, and then 2 sets of 15 minutes get you 30 minutes. 3 sets of 15 minutes get you to 45 minutes. And then a whole hour is 60. And then if you want to add 15 more to that, that's easy. 5 plus 0 is 5. 1 plus 6 is 7. So now when we think about this, we can just kind of pretend it's a 15 and think about, well, we want to get to 79. Here's how we got to 75. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Let's try that, see what happens. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 1 plus 2 is 7. So 70, the difference between 70 and 79 we know is 9. Now we bring down the 1. So now we're going to go 14 into 91. It's probably going to be a little bit bigger than this one. Let's try 6 of them then. 6 times 4 is 24. We've already got our 2. 6 times 1 plus 2, 6, 7, 8, right? Count it on up. Now we find the difference. I know that if I add 6 to 84, it's going to get me to 90, plus 1 more. So that's going to be 7, right? Does that make sense? But I can't take 4 away from 1, so here's, like, if you've got to see it happen, we have to take 1 away from the 9, and now we've got the 11 here. Go 4 plus 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, plus 1 more is 7. Now we've got a 0 to bring down. And it's kind of the same as the beginning. How did we get this 70? Oh, we said 5 of them. Let's do 5 again. We know that it's already going to be a result of 70, and there's no difference. We have no remainder this time. Why? Well, because we're talking about representatives from each country, meaning people. Can we have parts of people? Nope, we can't. So it's got to be an exact number. If you have this many people total and they're all coming from different countries, that has to work out evenly. There will be no remainder. So you can now say 565 representatives came from each of 14 countries. And then you've got it. And then as far as checking it, we're going to do the same thing we usually do. 565, we're going to say times 14. 5 times 4, 20, carry. 4 times 6 is 24, 25, 26, carry. Again, you've got a 20 plus a 2, 22. 10 times all that means we're just going to add a 0 to it, right? So here's the 0 because we're saying 10 times it, so there's nothing there. 1 times 5, 1 times 6, 1 times 5. Add it together, 0. 11, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of those. This was an 11, but it didn't show up. 5, 6, 7, 79, 10. And that's what we had here, 79, 10. So then we know we're good. So take a look at the problems for tonight. This is the homework problems for tonight. And I would like you, because these are complicated, it took me 12 minutes to do 2 problems. So I am only going to ask you to choose one. Okay? Sound good? So copy these, copy one of them, copy your choice, work it out, and bring it to share in class tomorrow. Thanks.